Why do you think? Why does he so love his own four walls, which are certain to be painted green, covered with soot, wretched, and unforgivably grimy from tobacco smoke? Why does this ridiculous gentleman, when one of his few acquaintances comes to visit him and he ends up losing all his acquaintances, why does this ridiculous person greet him with such embarrassment, such a changed countenance, and such confusion, as though he had just committed a crime within his four walls, as though he had been forging counterfeit notes or some little poems to be sent to a journal with an anonymous letter in which it is revealed that a true poet has died and that his friend considers it his sacred duty to publish his deities. Why? Tell me, Nastenka, does the conversation between these two interlocutors never get going? Why does neither laughter nor some lively remark fly from the tongue of the completely unexpected and perplexed friend, who in different circumstances likes to laugh a great deal, as well as engage in lively banter and conversations about the fair sex and other cheerful subjects? And why, finally, does this friend, probably a recent acquaintance, makes his first visit, because in this case there will be not a second one and the friend won't come again? Why does this friend become so embarrassed, so stiff, all his wit notwithstanding, if indeed he has any, as he looks at the crestfallen face of his host, who in turn has already managed to become completely flustered and utterly muddled after gigantic but futile efforts to smooth over and keep the conversation going, to show his knowledge of the ways of the world, to talk too about the fair sex, and at the very least, by some deference, to please the poor person who has turned up at the wrong place and mistakenly come to visit him. Why, finally, does the guest suddenly grab his hat and quickly leave, having remembered all of a sudden some very urgent business which never existed, and somehow or the other extricate his hand from the warm handshake of his host, who in every possible way was trying to show his regret and set right that which had been lost? Why does the departing friend chortle as he is going out of the door, and there and then vowing never to visit this crackpot, even though this crackpot is truly a most excellent fellow? At the same time, why can he not deny his imagination the passing fancy of comparing, if only remotely, the physiognomy of his recent interlocutors throughout the entire time of their meeting